That's Nick.
And that's Joseph.
And you interviewed someone.
I did. I got to interview a director named Jimmy Wan for his film Zero to Hero, which was selected as Hong Kong's official submission for the 94th Academy Awards in the Best International Feature category. And along with Jimmy Wan was a woman named Han Su-ching, who I referred to in the interview as Soma. She's portrayed in the film by Sandra Eng, who's one of the most notable performers out of Hong Kong cinema ever, across any period. And yeah. Oh, it's a biopic about So Wai, who is a Paralympic champion sprinter.
All right, enjoy.
Hi, my name is Nicholas Bell. I'm the chief film critic with Ion Cinema, and it is my pleasure to be able to speak with director Jimmy Wan and Soma, who is portrayed by Sandra Eng in his new film, Zero to Hero, which is the official submission from Hong Kong in anticipation of the 94th Academy Awards in the Best International Feature category. So welcome. Thank you for taking the time to speak with me. My first question will be for Jimmy, who you've co-directed 3 films previously. This is your first solo film as director. I'm familiar with your work with Peng Ho Sheng. I'm particularly a fan of Dream House, starring Josie Ho. And so this is a lot different than what I know of your work. So tell me how you came to tell the story of So Wai.
咁啊，導演佢就話佢之前有睇過之前你同彭浩翔導演寫咗劇本嘅一啲電影啦，包括呢個維多利亞1號啦，跟住佢都知道之前你都同曾國祥拍過一齊導演過3套電影，咁今次係第一次自己一個導演套戲，咁你係點樣遇到蘇華偉呢一個故仔嘅咧？
其實我之前未。除咗做導演之外，我係啦，頭先所講嘅都係有做好多編劇嘅工作。咁其實搜羅我身邊嘅古仔嘅題材係我每一日會做嘅事情咯。你不如先撐先呢樣。
So as you said, I was a screenwriter before I became a director. So collecting stories is something that I do on a daily basis.
所以我就不停喺身邊度揾適合嘅題材可以發揮，可以變成一部電影。咁啱俾我見到蘇華偉嘅一啲事蹟，我覺得呢件事好值得留俾觀眾去知道佢更多，同埋可以透過佢同佢媽咪嘅奮鬥嘅故事去俾到一份力量大家。
So in the process of collecting all these stories, I came across the story of So Wai and his mother, and I really thought that it's a story that is very inspirational, has a lot of positive energy. So I really want to tell this story to people.
So at what point did you meet? I'm curious about, did you start writing it before you met with Soma or So Wai?
咁呢個古仔係你見阿蘇媽同蘇華偉之前開始寫嘅係咪？
其實我有咁嘅概念，跟住就開始搜羅好多佢哋嘅資料，咁跟住就去認識蘇華偉同蘇媽，同佢哋做咗好多次嘅訪問，包括佢身邊嘅一啲教練同屋企人啊，咁得出咗好多嘅資訊，我先慢慢將佢哋嘅生活嘅點滴，佢哋經歷，將佢變成一個劇本。
So I first had the idea and I did some research. Then I met with Soma and So Wai, and I got a lot of stories from them and also met a lot of people there around them. And so from compiling all that information, I began to write the script.
Speaking of casting, you have one of Hong Kong's most prolific actors across any period, Sandra Eng, starring in your film. At what point did you introduce this script to Sandra, who is also serving as producer, and was that always the idea for her to star and produce in the film?
咁導演幾時將呢一個古仔係去交俾或者 pitch 俾吳君如，即係吳君如自己係一個非常著名嘅演員啦。咁你幾時將呢個故事嘅介紹俾或者係交俾吳君如叫去邀請佢參與一部電影嘅咧？
我記憶中應該係 around 2017年度嘅時候，我去 approach 阿君如嘅，因為我其實但係調翻轉喺我心目中裏邊，其實我一見蘇媽同佢 傾偈，無奈我已經覺得我如果呢個故事能夠拍成電影，將會一定係好想揾阿吳君如去主演，因為佢哋兩個之間嗰種熱健談嗰種爽朗嗰種有硬朗嘅性格，我覺得好適合。
So I approached Sandra around 2017, and when I saw Sandra speaking to Soma, I saw their directness, I saw their frankness, I saw their toughness, and I knew at that time that Sandra, if this film ever gets made, Sandra has to play this character.
Soma, what was it like to see yourself played on screen by Sandra Eng, and to have to see yourself called Wonder Mom on the big screen?
Soma 見到吳君如識即係做演你啦，喺電影度演你，同埋見到你被稱為神奇媽媽嘅，有啲咩感受咧？
當嗰一刻聽到人哋咁樣形容咧，自己嘅心咧就係好高興嘅嚇，即係因為個仔喺運動場付出咗21年嗰種艱辛，得到咗大眾嘅認同嚇，人哋先至會咁樣稱呼即係我哋，所以我好感激香港市民嘅嚇。
Yeah, I was overjoyed to hear that name because we got this nickname because my son gave his life, gave 21 years to the sport, 21 years of hardship to the sport to get this kind of recognition. So I was really happy and so proud.
Did you get to see it with your son in the theater?
阿蘇媽有冇同阿偉一齊喺戲院睇㗎？就係
有㗎。套電影首映禮我哋係第一晚睇嘅，一齊睇嘅。
Yes, we attended the premiere together.
Very nice, very nice. Speaking of Leung Chung-hang, who portrays So Wai as an adult, Jimmy, if you can tell me how you came to cast him. Previously, he's worked on stage, I know, and also about the training that he had to undergo for this role.
咁導演可唔可以講下點樣揾到阿炳嚟做呢個成年嘅蘇華偉咧？咁佢都之前都係喺舞台演出嘅，咁你點樣揾到佢啊？同埋佢經歷咗啲咩訓練嘅即係過程有咩訓練咧？
其實喺我未寫好劇本阿灣，我諗2016年嘅時候，我身邊有朋友知我將會想籌拍一部咁嘅電影嘅時候，已經介紹咗一個喺舞台上高好有經驗嘅一個演員梁仲恒俾我認識，所以我喺嗰一刻我已經覺得佢外形上高同埋我認識佢嘅技巧上高，佢已經好豐富，所以我嗰一刻已經心諗我一定會揾佢去演，但係我最擔心一樣嘢係我揾到資金之前佢已經會老嘅，幸好而家可以喺佢合適嘅年齡裏面拍到呢部電影。
So when in 2016, when I was writing the script, my friends knew that I was writing this story, and they had recommended Chung-hang to me because I know that he was a very experienced stage actor, so he was right for the role, and I really wanted him to play this role. But the problem was that I was worried that I would be waiting for too long to get the funding for the film, and that Chung-hang would be too old for the role. But luckily, the funding came together in time for him to be in the film.
同埋就係喺選角嘅過程裏邊，其實大家都好多意見嘅。其實當時大家都有諗緊梁仲恒係咪真係適合演出呢個角色。咁我同梁仲恒就私底下就用咗一段時間去排練咗蘇樺偉係一個點樣嘅角色，跟住我哋揾朋友一齊去球場度拍咗條片，係關於佢點樣呈現一個蘇樺偉出嚟。咁跟住我就將呢條片不停咁將去介紹俾我身邊嘅人公司，咁令到大家信服佢係戲裏邊嘅蘇樺偉。
So there was a lot of discussion about the casting of the film and a lot of doubts whether Chung-hang was the right person to play the role. So me and Chung-hang, we worked together for a long time to shape the character. And then I got a friend to help us shoot a short clip of Chung-hang in character, and then in character as So Wai, and then we showed that to the people around us and to film companies to convince them that Chung-hang was right for the role.
It strikes me that a sports drama from Hong Kong is very unique, especially in that it's not about martial arts, which at least in the US, I think a lot of people expect when they hear sports drama from Hong Kong. So was funding difficult to obtain since this is kind of a bit different?
即係至少喺西方咧，好多人聽到一個香港電影講運動嘅電影，佢哋以為會係講可能武術啊或者類似咁嘅題材嘅，咁所以聽到一套香港講運動嘅電影而唔係講武術嘅，咁呢個資金難唔難得到咧？難唔難籌錢咧？喺度
其實相對係由我一開始決定想籌拍呢部電影嘅時候，已經身邊好多人已經覺得好難會揾到個資金，因為香港真係甚少呢類型嘅電影。咁幸好我哋遇上咗古天樂啦，佢好有心地，佢覺得因為呢個故事背後所講嘅係一個真人真事，好有意義嘅一對母子奮鬥嘅故事，所以佢都總算我覺得係順利嘅揾資金方面。
So yeah, it's true that my friends all thought that it would be very difficult to get funding for this type of film. But luckily we had Mr. Louis Koo, who is a very reputable actor here in Hong Kong. He really believed in the story, and he gave us support we need. So actually the process of funding wasn't that difficult. It was rather smooth.
Okay, nice. I'm curious about any other films you use as an approach to the making of this film, but other films that kind of served as an inspiration.
咁導演有冇其他電影係喺你製作過程係俾到一啲啟發你嘅咧，或者係影響到你嘅咧？
其實好多運動型嘅電影都影響咗我，包括 Walkie 啊，包括好多其他類型嘅運動片。但係其實好影響我，其實可能我會選擇Forrest Gump 即係阿金正傳，因為係一部一個好率直嘅一個小男孩，佢成長，佢慢慢改變咗佢同埋身邊嘅人生。我覺得蘇華偉同佢媽咪就係一個類似咁嘅故事。
So of course, a lot of sports film influenced me, such as Rocky. But one film that really influenced me is Forrest Gump, because it's a story about a really innocent boy who miraculously changes the people around him. And I think why and his mother's story fits that mold.
Yeah, but those films did come to mind, which is why I'm not surprised how the film has been so well received at various film festivals. And of course, it's already available in the US on Netflix. What I want to have you touch upon is you have 3 different Paralympic games across different periods, and how you have a different feeling and approach to each of those periods for So-Wa-Wai.
咁電影裏邊咧都有3場比賽嘅場面啦。咁可唔可以講下每一場比賽係咪有唔同嘅方法去拍攝嘅咧？
係㗎，其實裏邊由撰寫劇本嘅時候，我已經腦裏邊已經有概念，大概點樣去分類呢三個 piece 嘅一個呈現嘅方法。第一個就係一場同隊友一齊參與嘅一場4×100嘅接力。我覺得好多唔同瑣碎嘅事情可以貫穿喺整個比賽裏邊，所以我用咗一個好多鏡頭嘅篇幅，好節奏強快嘅剪接去呈現呢場戲。
So yes, and while I was writing the script, I was already had in my mind that I would approach these 3 sequences, set pieces differently. So for the first scene, the 4x100 relay, I used a lot of shots. I used a lot of quick cuts to make the pace go very quickly.
跟住第2場比賽，其實係我腦裏邊一直好想呈現嘅一個鏡頭。其實就係因為我喺 research 蘇華偉嘅比賽片段嘅時候，我見到佢就係好有佢嘅特質，就係由一個起步慢慢落後嘅人，慢慢一個一個追過晒所有嘅對手，衝過終點。我覺得嗰一下好震撼，所以我好想喺戲裏邊喺第2場佢個人嘅一場200米比賽嘅時候，用一個長鏡頭去呈現佢嘅 由起步落後到慢慢超越所有人，最後第一個衝過終點。
So the second sequence is something that I had in mind very early, which is from my research, which is you see that why when he always starts in the back, he starts behind, and then he would overtake his opponents one by one. So I really want to capture that in a single long take, starting from the starting line, then over the 200-meter race, he would overtake his opponents one by one, and then he would finish in first. And I really want to do that in a oneer.
最後嗰場比賽，我覺得係一場已經唔係再睇比賽嘅一場片，我覺得係睇緊兩母子或者佢哋經歷咗27年光陰嘅一啲情感，所以我裏邊除咗一場比賽之外，我穿插咗好多關於佢哋兩個一齊經歷咗嘅所有嘅片段嘅 montage， 再夾雜咗真正蘇樺偉比賽嘅一段片段，希望觀眾喺嗰一刻將電影同蘇樺偉嘅人生所有嘢可以一次過好似一碗濃湯咁一次過飲。
So for the third race, I mean, the race itself didn't really matter anymore. It was about this mother and son journey that has gone on for 27 years. So I intercut the race with a lot of footage from other scenes from the film, and also footage of the real race itself, so that it sort of the whole scene, it's sort of this emotional culmination. It comes in like a warm bowl of soup for the audience.
Yes, very much. I like that there is such distinction between each of those. One of the most striking scenes I thought was the scene where Siu-ho he races the train and beats the train, which looked like it probably was a difficult sequence to shoot. I guess I'm wondering how you staged that.
另外一場非常突出嘅場面就係阿偉同埋啲火車賽跑嗰個場面，佢好似覺得好似會好難拍，咁可以講下嗰個拍攝嗰一場戲嘅過程咧？
其實相對地，其實佢又唔算好難拍，因為我哋用咗好多電腦特技，因為始終我哋唔能夠喺現場裏邊控制一架火車來來回回同一個人去比賽，所以用咗好多電腦特技，反而可能喺最困難嘅地方就係點樣呈現翻當時年代嘅火車同埋人與個電腦特技嗰個之間個關係，咁用咗好多，好在我哋嘅電腦特技師去配合得好好，所以呈現咗出嚟好相似嘅效果。
So actually shooting the scene itself wasn't that difficult. I mean, actually what took the most effort was doing the special effects, because after all, we can't control the trains to be in sync with our shooting. So the most difficult part was to get the right train in that period and to visually have it be correct in relation with the actual, the figure, the human figure. Luckily, we have very good special effects professionals who managed to pull that off.
And speaking of favorite scenes, Soma, do you have a favorite scene from the film?
阿蘇媽，你有冇一場戲係非常之中意或者係最中意嘅一場戲啊？
我最中意就係佢即係嗰個電影嘅最尾嗰度咧，嗰個蘇樺偉阿炳飾演緊佢一路跑，跟住咧有一個畫面就係不斷咁轉變，突然間就變咗係蘇樺偉嘅真人嘅。跑下跑下變咗個真人嘅，咁亦都係真實嗰個跑步嗰個現場嘅片段嚟嘅。咁因為當時咧，我自己咧有份喺08北京奧運嗰度，即係參與佢，即係睇住佢攞冠軍嘅。咁所以呢一幕咧係令到我好感動，同埋好似翻咗去現場咁樣嘅。
So in the final race, you see Chung-hang, who's playing Siu-ho, run in the final race, and then it cuts to real footage of Awai running in the actual race. And actually, I was there in Beijing at the Paralympics when he won that race. So hearing the music and seeing that image really brought back a lot of memories and really moved me.
Yeah, I imagine that there were a lot of moments that would be moving. And I think that Sandra Eng and Leung Chung-hang have some really nice chemistry. And again, some of the best moments of the film are kind of the quiet ones between them as mother and son. It's very touching. So thank you for that. I guess as a closing question for Jimmy, this film, seems like it took up a lot of time, many years of work. Do you have any other projects you're currently working on?
導演而家經歷咗即係咁多年去製作呢套戲之後，咁你而家有冇一啲新嘅計劃、新嘅電影係籌備緊嘅咧？
其實仲有好多個故事我好想拍，包括可能一啲真人真事嘅香港精神嘅故事咯。咁但係未落實係邊個會最快進行
？Actually, there are many stories I want to tell, including some fact-based Hong Kong stories. But at this time, I'm not sure yet which one I will do first.
Okay. Well, thank you for all three of you for taking the time to speak with me today. Give my applause to Sandra Eng, who couldn't join us. And thank you for the wonderful film.